many thanks for joining us on another edition of Reporters Lunch. And also, thank God it's Friday, even though it's not something that journalists celebrate, because at times you find more work doing over the weekend rather than actually relaxing. But whichever way it goes, it's always our pleasure to do it, to bring the news around the world to you out there. My name is Kayode Taiwo, and today on Reporters Lunch, I have two gentlemen of the press, one with a soft touch, and the other one, the normal, regular touch. Otumba Molulu is here with us. He's a veteran journalist. It's my pleasure having you on the program with us this morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody.
All right. I also have with me the one that used to be radio diver, now a TV diver, I will call her. Simiat, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on the program.
All right. We have so many issues in the week that came up, and we just felt that, okay, let's begin to look at them one after the other. And, okay, we will be starting the discussion with the submission of the former INEC chairman, Professor Tahiru Jega, who actually raised doubts as to 2023 election as a result of insecurity around the country. It was reported in various newspapers in the week. We'll look at that. NJC sanctions 3 judges for granting rulings for counterfeiting rulings. Okay, we'll also look at that, and China to send criminal investigation experts to Nigeria to help fight insecurity. All right, we'll look at that. Okay, UK reverses Nigeria's orders travel ban, cancels quarantine, insists on tests. All right. We also have a political one here. Presidential bid, Tinubu meets Northern Alliance, says consultations ongoing. And the last one is on sports. I hope time will permit us to look through all of this. I didn't allow NFF officials influence my selection. The Super Eagles coach, Gernot Rohr, says that. So those are the highlights of our discussion on the program here this morning. Insecurity may prevent 2023 polls from holding, says Jega. Amalulu, let's start from you. You have been involved in political process before.
Yes.
And Jega was INEC chairman who conducted the election that led to the present administration and all of that. He's now saying that insecurity is a challenge to 2023 polls. What's your opinion?
Thank you. Jega, the former INEC scribe, very good man. I've always found the man always after my heart. Very truthful, straightforward. But above and beyond that, it's not rocket science the way everything is. In fact, this week, or yes, earlier this week, the North protested that they are bleeding. And we understand the majority of the votes, as in the electorate that they count, come from the North. So if the North is disenfranchised, it will affect the whole country. What he's trying to say is it has gotten past that point where, because election is coming, you try and create a curtain of peace because of the process. But this time around, there will be nobody to vote. There will be nobody to make that process. So it's already a failed process. So until something concrete is done, to hold on, especially security is very important. People are no more in their homes. They are no more in their workplaces. The networks are down. There are no more banks open. It's a serious problem, sir.
Serious problem.
Serious.
Simiat, the guy is saying something here.
Well, I think a lot of Nigerians are actually bothered about the security situation, especially in the north. Like he said also, I was watching different videos of northerners protesting, that save the north, and of course it's a troubling situation that we find ourselves. And of course, 2023 is just around the corner. So if we have to conduct an election, it has to be peaceful before people can come out to say they want to vote for whichever candidate it is. So I think it's also a call, just a call to the president himself and of course the security chiefs to do more in a way to secure the country, just so we could have a more peaceful environment for election to hold. So a former INEC chairman, and of course I think he also has interest in the 2023 election because of what he's been doing so far, talking about elections. So some people already said he wants to contest that election, and of course insecurity is one challenge that we must confront at this stage, just so we could have that election come in 2023. Okay,
well, even if he's going to participate in the election, I think as a person who held a very, very important position in the past, he must have seen things across the country. But when we now have prominent people from the north saying this insecurity is getting to a stage that could affect the national elections, and what we have presently, the security apparatus are almost 90% domiciled in the north. So who are they actually calling to rescue the situation?
The security situation in the north is at its tipping points. People are no more safe in their home.
Yes,
they are not safe on the streets.
But who is responsible for this?
That's where I'm going. They are not safe in their workplaces.
Yes.
I remember just some months ago, the NDA, a premium defense college in Nigeria, was raided, and personnel were kidnapped by ISWAP or Boko. I don't care what name they call them. Yeah. It shows the depth of the rots, even in our own security apparatus. Unable, it's not by employment, it's not by number, because technology has taken over quantity in security. Okay. So Nigeria has failed, especially with these bandits and everything. Simple technology could have nicked them in the bud by drone. We could have satellites that monitor all these things. They are not working, but the will is, when the will is not there.
Are you saying that the federal government, along with its security apparatus, are not?
Yes, they don't have a hand on the button. It's ineptitude, I think. They don't have a hand on the button because Nigerian Army, I know they're capable. I've been around them, I've been in their midst, I know what they can do. When their morale is up, they will flush out these people. They will do what they want to do. But they're underfunded and the morale is very low.
Oh, okay, I would like to share a comment from a group page that I was in, or I am presently in, and of course we had a discussion around what is happening in the north. So a northern colleague actually shared this. He said, the problem of north is essentially cultural and religious hegemony, few clerics. The culture of respect for elders and leaders and elders are not to be challenged. More so, there is the issue of ungoverned space as well as political will. This is what, he was trying to share what he submitted, on a TV station, because our leaders are still free. That's why things are like that in the north. We must hold their feet to the fire and sack pro-establishment clerics. So when we look at what is presently happening in the north, some of us will say that the south is better off because there is no way somebody will come up with an argument that is not in tandem with the reality of things, and the southerners will not react from different angles. So a lot of people are saying that when we all are shouting there is insecurity in the south, there is insecurity here and there, the northerners are largely not talking with us along that line. Look at NSAS when it happened. At some point they had to say no because they felt it was against them. And of course they kept quiet at some point. And people are saying that if the north is not peaceful at this time, it also the contributions of the different groups and the different people that constituted that region. So if we are looking at peace right now, we also need to look at the religious aspect of it, the cultural aspect of it, where people no longer ask questions based on the fact that they are our leaders, which is culturally embedded in the northerners, where they have to obey and submit to their leaders. and not ask so much questions. So the Northerners are now asking questions. I think we should give them that opportunity to ventilate. I think the government should be listening to them at this time. And of course, they should also stop playing politics with the lives of other people.
Yeah, okay. I picked 1, 2, or 3 critical issues from the submissions of the two of you. You said that perhaps the federal government's hands were not on the button. You talk about sentiments that, okay, because when things happen in some other places, they see it as possibly going against the leadership and all of that. Well, we know that Nigeria has always played their politics in that manner. If a northerner says anything against a southern leader, it is taken that, okay, it is because it's a northerner. That's why it's saying that. So if it comes from the south, I don't know how ESAS will have been anything that will affect Mr. President at that time if we did what we're supposed to. But anyway, that call is very critical at this stage, and it's a call on the federal government to do something about it. So, all right, let's move on. The next one, the NJC sanctions 3 judges. That's the National Judicial Council. Sanctions 3 judges for conflicting rulings. And well, since this one is a matter of the courts, we'll just discuss it as it has been reported.
Yes.
When NJC decide to sanction judges and even punish them with promotion, it means they must have found out that truly these judges are below average. What's your comment on this?
The 3 judges, the Kufri man from Rivers, Cross River, the Umar from KB, and the Gbasa man from Rivers. What they have failed to realize is, see, it cannot continue going business as usual. Because when we have what we call competent courts of jurisdiction gives an order, a court on the parallel must not countermand, like your mates cannot talk and you say what you know is better than what your mates say. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
In that circle, has been given conflicting so many things. I think in the High Court, Odili was sanctioned there, but the appeal court, through one of these judges, released him of 24 counts. But when he got to Britain, just 6 counts. He was jailed for the same offenses that were listed here. So it shows we have a problem with our judicial. Okay, look at the way preceding the election the last time, the chief judge, when we have separation of power in a country, a presidency starts a process to remove a chief judge, I think. And then to add an addendum, the woman was raided last month, Mary Odili. She is the one that gave recommendation for the demotion of these judges too. Because she has understood, of course, her husband was a former governor, so she knows what politics has played in judiciary. And that's what's happening. So she wants to break that cord. Don't link any, and especially all this matter was on second dose. So of course, what people say is when things start changing, like money must have changed hands. So the judiciary must leave above board to give the common man the faith to go to it when we have problems. So I think that's the problem with the judiciary, and they're doing an in-house cleaning. I think kudos to NJC.
Okay. Senior, are you saying this as an effort to actually strengthen the judiciary, and possibly does it also appear to you like the judiciary is admitting truly that we have some judges that are playing some underground games? Well,
this is Nigeria, and of course we are not going to exclude judges from the problems that we generally experience in the different sectors of the country. So I see it as a way of trying to clean up the judiciary. I see it as something, because we've always been talking about when there are no when there are no consequences for actions that people commit, things that are not supposed to be, that people get away with it along the line. Like he said, it's not business as usual any longer. So if the judiciary is able to admit, first of all, that's the first thing that they have done right now, that those 3 judges, they actually they've actually done something before they can put such a caveat, in trying to promote them and, of course, trying to stop their promotion. It's just for them to have a sense of punishment for what they have done. And in the process, it's just in a way to clean up the entire judiciary so that it will deter others from committing the same offense. So I think it's a good thing that the NJC is doing. They just need to intensify, because the rot is so deep that we really don't know if these three can actually change the status quo as we have it. But then it's just a pointer to people trying to find justice and, of course, trying to make themselves stronger as an institution.
All right. You recall sometimes in the past that some of the Nigerian judges were actually put under the searchlight by the EFCC, and some people were saying that why should you do this and that? But with this one now, would that be a justification for the actions of the anti-corruption agencies at that time?
Well, we mostly don't rule out politics from what we experience in this country. But then we have to understand some things. There are times when they put up names of individuals or key personalities in the society, and the people feel it's because the person is in the opposition party, or he has sympathy or leaning to the opposition party. Then we start talking again. The first question I ask myself is, if anybody's name is on the table of EFCC, we should allow them to do the job. What if the person is guilty? Do we say because the person is in opposition and they're trying to witch hunt him, like we majorly say that is witch hunting and all that? If the person is guilty, then the person should pay for the crime or for whatever thing that he or she has done. So for me, I think it starts from somewhere.
All right. Now, with all of this, will it be safe to also concur with those people who have been calling for a special courts for corruption cases? Because it's like who watch the watchdog now? If the NJC is also with this action admitting that some judges are not doing it the right way, then the issues of corruption, which traverse the entirety of our society, including the judiciary, will it not be necessary to have a specialized court to actually handle cases like this?
There, I think it's a little dangerous for us to expose our judiciary to justice. I put it that way, exposing our judiciary to justice. That's our last version for our rights, our privileges. What I'm going to, NJC is fully equipped. They have the mandate.
Yeah.
They can have in-house. All these things, they don't have to be in the media or public fora, where you talk to erring judges, judgments that are contentious, that you can deal with it. It can be in-house. Remember Lekon Salami back then? What's the name of the judge? Justice Salami. The Ekiti election that they said money change down, one woman, Abeokuta, blah, it was so messy then that an impeccable judge was alleged to have taken money, and the man was the president of the appeal court, and he had to step down for an independent such a probe, you understand? By the end of the day, he was reinstated and summarily retired just to cover whatever they can on that. But that's moving forward. I think the NJC is fully equipped. They should have their own, that they deal with such. It doesn't have to be in the public, because once we know there's serious problem with the judiciary, then there's no for the...
Okay. Now, we are talking about judiciary now. A critical aspect of our judicial system are the lawyers. Sometimes in the past, there were allegations that some of the senior lawyers were the contacts between their clients and judges and all of it. So much noise was made at that time. But now, if you are talking about the judges being sanctioned now, what do we then say about the lawyers who also play the undercurrent games?
It means just something that is pointing to the fact that everybody is just going to have their judgment days. It's moving closer to those lawyers as well. So if they are starting with the judges, it means that lawyers would not be exempted in the process. So I see this as, like some people will say that if you want to fight corruption, you start from the top and not from the bottom. So that in itself is saying that is giving warnings to every lawyers out there, or all the lawyers that we have, that the days of you going scot-free when you do things of this nature is not going to be the same again. So starting from the top is actually sending a critical message to those, at the bottom, that you're also going to have. Exactly.
Before we leave this topic, I still want another side to this, the whole of this. Now, they are sanctioning judges for giving conflicting rulings.
Yes.
Now, weekly, there is weekly law reports that shows all rulings across the country. Now, what do we now do for a lawyer who possibly through the weekly reports have seen that a judge has given
Conflicting reports.
no, has given a ruling on a particular issue.
Okay.
I still take it to another judge or a court of equal status,
Okay.
pretending that you didn't see that one, maybe as a result of distance, and possibly the judge at that time might be so busy, he might not have gone through all the rulings in that particular week, so he might not know. That the lawyer who did that, shouldn't that lawyer also be involved in this sanctioning?
The only way lawyers affect judgments is by delay, injunctions, and not producing clients, especially those on bail. And but there's a Yoruba saying, what I'm trying to say in English, it's if the wall is not cracked, the lizard will see no shade, where to hide. So, I mean, a lawyer can just come in and see an incorruptible judge and walk to him and try to negotiate. I've not gone far, I've not said anything. I've not said exchange money, but, it depends. If you're a corrupt person, I can lure you with corrupt tendencies. But if you're not, I cannot come to your court and start misbehaving.
Because
in fact, right at that bench, the judge can
ask the lawyer to
the early lawyer, yes. So I mean, we have to be friends.
From there to prison straight away.
So the lawyers are not the problem, but the system itself needs to.
All right, a good step by NJC. There are no doubt about it, and I'm very sure it's going to send some signals to those who still want to possibly do such things in future. All right, let's move to the next topic. China to send criminal investigation expert to Nigeria to help fight insecurity. Well, I don't know. China, okay, maybe they will learn some of our local languages to be able to do this. What's your take on this?
Well, I think over the years, after studying China's way of, they want to do business. They mostly don't intervene, or they don't do intervention like that in terms of what is happening in your country. We want to help you fix it. It's just the U.S., Russia, and the likes that we know of that would always like to say what is happening there. Let us help you and all that. So I am also saying this because of what happened during the COVID-19. China did not even say that they are coming to be the one. They are saying that they are coming to help train our own personnel on ground on how to deal with certain issues. So with this new reality, should I call it, China, like I said, when COVID came, they brought in their expert to train our own health officials on how to handle COVID, because it actually emanated from their end. And that's the same strategy I've known them to, I'm familiar with.
Is it because the discovery of COVID itself revolved around China?
It's not only that. China doesn't really come and say, this is your democracy, I want to tamper with whatever you're doing, or I want to tamper with your security, or they mostly want to come and train what is working in their own country. They mostly come to say that, let us replicate that in your country. And that's why you could see that the likes of the US and others are still having problem with them, with the level of success they are getting. They come into Nigeria, in Africa at large, to say that you don't have infrastructure, let us do business together. Let us build your infrastructure. So that's what they've been doing. So I don't see them coming to interfere as per having, a strong hold of impact into what we do. They just want to come and train. That's what I think.
They just want to come and train.
That's what I think they are coming to do.
Is this not a Greek gift? Because that's how some of these powerful countries will come in.
She had breakfast at the Chinese ambassador this morning. Okay, moving forward, it's two angles. I look at it. One, let's look internal. You see, if there's weakness somewhere, that's when people outside try to. Where I'm going is the next door's house. If the man and the woman every day you are fighting, you are disturbing your neighbor, they'll come and knock your door.
What's happening here?
If you are fighting and it's just the grudges and no noise, you drive out to kiss, nobody will come to your compound. But if you every day break plate, break glass, they'll come and knock your door. That's exactly what's happening. What I'm trying to say is we have shown a weakness in handling our own internal matter. So any Tom, Dick, and Harry can come to a sovereign nation, where we call our so-called sovereign nation, and knock and say anything because we've allowed it. Two, externally, China should not be trusted. They have never been trusted. There's no country that has ever worked with China.
They even open their borders for...
I'm going there. China is, China, they are crafty with their size and the way they look. That's the way they are. I'm sorry to say this. That's the way I've been with some Chinese business. I know the things they try to talk to me about and whatever. Aside Nigerians, in Nigeria, the Chinese, if you know the crimes they do in Nigeria, that's by the matter. What China, it's what they are trying to do because, they've come out from an isolationist policy in recent times. So contemporarily, they are trying to open up to the world. But how do you do that? They feed you what you don't have. Poverty, they give you money. Services you don't have, will give you. Infrastructure now will give you. They don't come to provide solution. China would never give you any technical support or aid without a rope. So you have to be wary. Where have they been all the while? All the governments, when we've been fighting this Boko Haram, China has the best tanks. They have some of the best military warfare and technology armament. Why did they not support Nigeria? We're never at loggerheads diplomatically. Why now? Because they've seen that this government has given them so much audience. In fact, the debts that Nigeria is owing China now, that I think someone was saying, was it $400 or $800 million? That they have a target going to billions in dollars.
It's already in billions.
No. Like what we pay back, what we are paying back right now, they say they don't want to collect it. China said they don't want to collect it yet. That if you start paying, you won't use the money. You use it. So they have.
Well, I think that's also true of so many of the people that come into the country to help us. It's because we are not doing so much for ourselves. That's why. The wall is already cracked, so people can get in and say that is what they want to focus on. And beyond that, we also need to look critically. A lot of countries have said that the problem we're having in Nigeria is internal, and if we're ready to solve it, it's just a matter of will. It's going to be solved. So no country is coming to bring in their personnel to come and fight insecurity in the north. No, they are not going to do that. What happened in Somalia some years ago has taught a lot of countries that you don't meddle in their affair. They are people. They know what they want. They know how they play their politics. And of course, a lot of people are still saying that this insecurity we're experiencing here is largely because the politicians are not ready to, they are not sincere, and they are not ready to make peace. That's why there's still a lot of issues with insecurity.
But we wonder why people in government will not be ready to solve what has been given them a very bad image.
No, the issue is what is an it for me? So when you have a war going on and people are making billions from it, so you have war entrepreneurs, people selling arms, even we can't rule out the external forces because a lot of them are benefiting from the process.
People are gaining from it.
So it will fester. And now that's why people say if government is ready to do it, they are going to do it because, of course, ECOWAS released a report recently that terrorists, the funders are also they are bringing in money into the country, and a whole lot of reports have been out there. So it means that government has the superpower to see all those things that happened in the banking system, for example. Dubai, UAE actually got hold of certain names recently funding terrorism in Nigeria. So why should we wait till UAE send us? We still do not accept it, or we do not react to it. So a lot of things, that's why they say government, because they have the instrument to fight all those things. And if they are willing to do it, it's just so it will disappear. Just like that.
Let's just hope that they won't take advantage of other weaknesses in our system here. Okay. Now let's move on. We still have some few other issues here. Yeah, UK reverses Nigeria orders travel ban, cancels quarantine, insists on test. Well, I think on this program last week we discussed issues relating to selective banning on African countries and all of that. Now, okay, this one is more specific. UK is reversing the travel ban on Nigeria and some other countries. What do you think could have prompted this change of mind?
To start with, the ban itself, the harsh way the UK and some developed countries, I think Saudi Arabia, Canada, they moved was very silly, very, very silly. COVID didn't emanate from Africa. Look at the statistics.
Don't you think that language is very strong for?
No. I'll go for moving forward. What's the statistics of people who are in mortality at your place are in Africa? In fact, this fourth strain, Omicron, till to date has not killed one person.
Yeah, at least.
But is the fastest spreading so far. I think they said by 300% the rise and everything. So they are considering another set of lockdown, but they are monitoring it because it's kind of a little subtle strain. But having said that, you claim, like someone was saying some days ago, that it's coming from South Africa. Meanwhile, Netherlands discovered it before us. I'm sure all that information is at their fingertips, and they know. But there's no way UK will ban Switzerland or the Benelux countries from having business with them because they are Europeans. But you see, Africans, we are just like guinea pigs. And you see, we have to have a government that has to stop this. I like, well, moving forward also, I like what the Minister of Aviation did. He started with the travel ban, he reversed it. Okay, slap me and slap me. That kind of, yes, he did it. And, like they need us more than we need them. If you know the money they generated at the embassies, US, UK, Canada, if you know what they don't make anywhere in the world, Nigeria. If you know our exchange in intellectual exchange in Nigeria, it's so much. The people driving medicine, engineering, technology, IT in these countries, they're largely Nigerians. It's no secret worldwide. So they want them to be content. They don't want to do anything to all those internal people that work for them. And they know these politicians too. They bring money, they have houses there, blah, blah, so they should not spoil Christmas for them.
Is that your line of thought also?
Yes, it's actually a two-way thing for me. I think first it's a call, we're screaming, we're on top of our voices that this is discriminatory and all of that. You could see what the ambassador was also doing at granting different interviews, talking about Nigeria, talking about why the UK should have a rethink of what they have done. And I think this is just more or less allowing science to work. The WHO already came out to talk about why restriction bans would not work because the virus is already the variant is already everywhere in their country. So if you're saying you're not going to you're going to ban certain countries because it emanated from there and all that for that variant coming from them, it means that you're not being realistic with the fact. Another angle to this is this. I feel UK and other countries banning African countries might be justified. We are not dying like they are dying.
Yeah.
We are not. So if a variant is coming and we have not been dying with respect to the others that have been discovered, it also means that their people will be at risk more, based on what they have at the moment. So at some point, I was trying to agree with their decision to ban some of the, but of course, for economic reasons, they have to look at that. And I like the fact that Nigeria tried to do a reciprocity kind of policy. I think that you ban me, I ban you.
At least for the first time,
you're putting
Nigeria will be looking.
It's not the first time. I think it's not the first time.
Most times, Nigeria don't. When they slam us with all these funny policies, Nigeria, we always try to.
Recently, I think we've been a bit different, recently, because I have monitored what we've been doing so far. There was one that also came. I can't remember precisely. It was even this lockdown. During the lockdown last year, when they were, banning countries, Nigeria also had to reciprocate, and of course that justifies certain steps that other countries had to change their decision. So I think this is just a good one for the world. It's not about you being black. It's not about you being inferior to others. It's basically about the science, what they are saying, what the records are saying. And of course, Nigeria, nobody can, like you said, you can't just shut your doors. The number of contributions we make to global economy is huge.
It's huge.
Not in terms of finances alone.
I just want to put a word in.
Yeah.
You see, once they know your internal medicine is faulty, they can meddle with it politically or diplomatically. Where I'm going is, Nigeria doesn't have a sustainable health system. We know that.
Exactly.
When our president and everybody, when they have a headache, they want to go to the toilet, they fly to UK. So the ban and the disease. Look at internally. Do you know there's an outbreak of Lassa fever in the north right now? 2 doctors, 2 well-trained doctors, they were infected and died this week.
Yep.
Do you announce that? We didn't mention that. Lassa is West Africa's problem. What have we done since we've been fighting Lassa fever? Have we found a vaccine for Lassa?
And Lassa started around 965.
Lassa is even, malaria has been with us.
No, malaria. When they're treating chloroquine, you'll be all right. Lassa, they still don't have an idea. It's like a cancer to them. They manage it. They don't have a cure. They don't have something, what is this, vaccine? Like prevention and inoculation. And 2 doctors, I've forgotten their names. I want them this week.
And one pregnant woman.
So I pray Nigerian government, we should think what to do on these common fevers. We have cholera outbreak.
The diseases are peculiar to us in Africa. We should look
at the
Borno State.
Exactly.
It first came from somewhere in Borno State called Lassa.
The lifestyle of the
we have all these regulatory ministries,
power has a whole lot to do with what
and research centers.
Yes.
I don't know. Up to now, we don't have a vaccine that we can say Nigerians actually.
So they will look us in the face and wait, let's develop the vaccine. When we develop it, we open our doors.
Well, we hope our leaders are
so watching,
and of course they want to change their ways. And of course, if the funds are not available, they can prioritize or reprioritize their agendas and of course put more in developing certain vaccines for diseases that are peculiar to us in Africa, Nigeria.
Right. I think we would possibly allow calls at this stage, maybe part of the topics we have discussed so far. The line will soon come online. You can call and also share your opinion with us on what we have discussed so far. At least let's just know that you're also following this conversation. Well, the next one is a political topic, but for some reasons I'll just leave the name out of it. But in the news, in the week, one of the political giants in Nigeria, south of Nigeria, who speculations have it that he intends to run for presidency, visited the north and all of that. But the key issue here was that some of the northern leaders raised the possibility of having a president and vice coming from the same religion. Although we've had such in the past, but the issue came during the course of this visit by this gentleman who wants to aspire. Now, Nigerian political system, do you see us, actually coming above religious or ethnic sentiment in our choices?
For now, we are not ripe for that. Simply because we are still divided along these lines. And there are speculations upon speculations that you want to Islamize the country, you want to Fulanize the country and all that. So with those kind of narrative that we still have presently in the country, I don't think we're ripe for, we have to consider all angles. We have to, irrespective of where, I actually believe in merit. I believe in people that can do the job. I don't mind where they come from, but that is me, not the bigger picture of Nigeria. I'm just an individual. I'm a citizen. I have my own right to my own opinion.
Yeah.
So I feel more of competence should precede every other, considerations. And of course, like I said, we're not ripe to have a Christian ticket. We're not ripe to have a Muslim ticket. Maybe later in the future we can get to that point. But right now, everybody needs to have a sense of belonging, because that is how we are structured right now, ethnic based and of course religious wise.
All right. Now, what we have seen in the past was that we had, in the days of two political parties, SDP and NRC, we had Muslim ticket, and Nigerians still voted along that line, even though that result never manifested as in forming government and all of that. But some people are now saying that if we have two personalities that we consider strong and good enough, either of any religion, of no religion at all, because we have two people who never believe in any of the two major religions, and can't we look at the personalities rather than the religion or the ethnic group?
Thank you. In retrospect, when it happened at the time of NRC SDP, I remember Babagana Kingibe was the deputy to Kashimawo Abiola MKO, a man from Ogun State here.
Yeah.
I think it was more personality, as you said, because Abiola was a detribalized Nigerian. He was everywhere. He had his biggest farm in the north. He was building churches, attending church functions as he was going to mosque, and giving money. In entertainment, in fact, he went to a point that they said he was helping more of Christian artists more than Muslims. So he said, but you people don't come to me. I can remember way back then, they laughed at him when he went to a meeting. They said he's helping Christians, all this, Onyokosun, Chris Okote, blah. They come to me. You don't expect me to. He's the man that funded the whole federal universities in Nigeria, and now went to states, gave them, nobody till Dangote, our richest man. They've done it till today, and I think nobody can replicate it today. Moving forward, Abiola, he was loved. I mean, you still know, the slogan is that's the freest and fairest election. Whatever must have been thrown at us, we would have been happy with it because that's what we wanted. That is what election, that's the power of democracy, the people's choice. But you see, right now, it's not the people's choice that work. And from 1999, we've tried to build this bridge along ethnic and tribal line. When General Chief Obasanjo came in, Okonjo-Iweala brought in Ezekwesili, brought in Nasser Rufai, but he detribalized, he created the kind of system that competency, as you mentioned. Let me square peg in square, round in round. When Jonathan got there, he tried to do the same thing. When Jonathan got there, well, it might not be as perfect as that, but still he maintained that.
Okay, sorry, we have a call from Adeyemi calling from Lagos. Good morning. Hello, good morning. It's like the little baby is playing with daddy's phone.
Okay, so where I'm going is, right now, the distrust is just too much. The body language, you can cut it with knife. The tension, it's too thick.
Exactly.
When this problem, and what broke this country tribally is these Fulani people. When they started, it's the smallest tribe. They are less than 1% of Nigeria, but they've irritated us so much. Because of the body language of the commander-in-chief, who everybody says is a full animal too. So what they say is, call your people to order. Should it be that way? Should it be that way? No, it should not. So there's so much distrust. She mentioned it.
I remember when Chief Obasanjo was the president, when he found Gani Adams overstepping his bounds.
Yes.
He dealt with him. He didn't say because...
No, he dealt with him.
And there's so many Southerners that...
So right now, what I'm trying to say, there's so much distrust. If you say Christian, the North will burn. If you say Muslim, the South will burn.
Exactly.
That is the fact. I'm not with the fortune ball or whatever, but I know what will happen. So nobody should think it if you don't want this country to burn. Just leave it across that divide. Let's get a reasonable Christian, a reasonable Muslim. Let them work together. We can have a team. The team, nobody will say is religious. Or look at what's happening in Nigeria today. 90% of our posts, they are with a stock, but nobody's complaining as long as they are waking and sleeping. But still go back to what
people are complaining.
No, they can't shout. No, I can't shout. So I think it's going to be difficult to sell it to the people right now. Very difficult.
Very difficult. We are too polarized for such a decision to be made, and in fact, it has to do with the people.
But let's leave aside.
Different political parties will present their candidate, of course.
But let's leave aside this combination. But whoever wants to lead Nigeria in the next transition, what should Nigerians be looking out for in that, particularly the head, because it's the head that determines a whole lot of things. We all know that one.
Exactly.
We know.
For me, I think majorly the antecedents of that person should matter at this stage. Where has the person served? What has been the contributions of that person in wherever he has served? Two, the health of that person must be very, we should take that into consideration. Because it is only when you are healthy, I'm not saying that because we mostly don't know what happens to us, we're not a determinant as to what happens to us at different times, but of course, pre-election, we should know that the person is a bit fit to do the job. Fit in the sense that you have to be able to move around. Moving around is part of the job. It's not just sitting in Abuja, sitting in Aso Rock. You have to move around. You have to be able to, we should see that, you know when you have a president and you see countries where their president would majorly be, the younger ones, the children would wake up and you see how if it is jogging, they jog together. If it is any event, they do it together to show the activities of the government. The people need to feel that sensation that, oh, this is my president. I want to be like my president. And people would, it will give hope to the hopeless people in a way. The health is important for me.
All right.
And of course, I said the antecedents is critical.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move to the next topic, which is going to be the last on this discussion. It's the sporting story. I don't know how much of this that Simiat will want to.
You think I don't know sport?
No, I didn't say so. I only.
So why did you mention?
This is purely. This is more.
I'm sure you don't do sports too. Are you so interested in? We might be on the same level, actually.
It's okay. I know you are trying to use uppercut. Well, I'll try and dodge that. Now, Gareth Raw is saying that I didn't allow NFF officials influence my selection. Gareth Raw has been running battle with his contract with NFF, and now I think he has been relieved of that. Possibly this is coming after all this. That maybe one of the reasons why he was actually given the boot is the fact that he doesn't allow. But in your own assessment, before you even look at his statement, will you say Janet Raw has actually added value to Nigeria?
Yes, unequivocally. Someone who's carried us to two Nations Cup, almost finals, and World Cup, and they've done well. Yes, and all our players, no one has complained about him like what we have in the past when Siasia, the boss, late Keshi.
Late Stephen Keshi.
There was so much interference. Even this guy ran back to Germany, Olise. That the interference was too much, he could not cope. No one didn't complain about that. But things got done. Either in competition, you have to have a winner or a loser. So if someone goes that winning mentality, at least you must be ready for whatever comes. And yeah, he has managed that. Yes, we had some good plays. I remember the sensation of our qualification for the World Cup, the last World Cup, which Iwobi had Ahmed Musa out the spotlight and everything, and the hope. And yes, even for him, for General Rowe, I think this is his best run in his career. He's coached Gambia and I think some other African countries, but I think Nigeria has now given him a very fat.
But don't you think it's because Nigeria has gotten wide range of stars? That's why it's.
But sorry, sir, wide range of stars. You not be winning the African Cup of Nations. You not be winning World Cup.
Yes,
even regional.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Who will do business with Nigeria and the name would not be written in the map in the world? I think Rio is just also trying to express certain reservations, before the sack. There are issues obviously. We expect interference. You can see it play out in all what we do in Nigeria. There's always an interference. Somebody is coming to say, okay, I'm Mr. Lusoso, and so allow this to happen, and I'm this and that. Because of his level of professionalism, I think he didn't allow that, and that might be a problem, to some people that are also, your own too much kind of a thing. And of course, it's not just based on that. It's also based on science.
Because of our time, do you think this cancellation of contract is justifiable?
Well, I think he has spent like 6 years, I guess.
About that.
I think you just need. It's not the best time, I would say, because we're going for another very important competition. So it's not the best time. But it's not the best time. But I think it's, in a way, it's just, if they don't, they're still owing him according to what we read.
Let's just leave what they are owing him.
It's part of it. If I can't pay you, you are not part of it.
Our time is. What's your take on this? Do you think the sack is justifiable?
Well, it was long coming. It was uncomfortable there, and they were working too hard to get him out. So it was inevitable. All right, everybody's happy.
Okay, and that's how we're going to leave it. And that's where we're also going to draw the curtain on today's episode of Reporters Lunch. I want to thank my guests in the house. Simiat, I thank you. I had thought that you are below the water, you won't surface. But you have surfaced and surfaced very well. I'm glad. And I also thank you so much, Otuba, for coming on the program.
The pleasure is mine.
Well, the beats continue over the weekend, and by Monday we return back with some other reports on our major news bulletins and all of that. But Reporters Lunch returns next week, Friday. And until then, I leave in the hands of Almighty God. Bye-bye.